Hello,
This is Alex and Amanda.
and we are both former tag team members and current Hobbs TAG Team Interns.
We started up our Taking It to the Granted adventures again this summer.
And our first stop was the Allegan Alternative High School.
Hi, we're here with Allegan County Community Foundation's Taking It to the Granted, and we just want to know what exactly is the Allegan Alternative High School?
Well, thank you guys so much for being here. Allegan Alternative High School is a place of second chances, and I think that that's really powerful. I feel like all of us at some point, if we think back at our lives, probably needed a second chance at some point, and somebody was there to give that to us. So all of our students, for various reasons, come to us for a fresh start to try to earn their high school diploma in a small family atmosphere filled with love and positivity.
So the tag team funded the Mind, Body, and Spirit program this year, so can you explain a little bit about what that is?
I would love to explain the Mind, Body, Spirit program. I'm so glad you asked. We are now in the fall, will be our third year of coming together as a staff and deciding that it was time to focus on the mind, body, and spirit of each student. We kind of looked at each other and we felt like, okay, our students' needs are this big, and the resources that we really have to help them with those needs is closer to maybe this big. So we just put our heads together, and I always like to say when my staff and I get together, I feel like there's nothing we can't do. I have the most incredible team. So we decided that we wanted to take a more holistic approach to education and utilize the resources we have, but also start to be unafraid to venture out of the building and ask for help and resources other places. So I'll give you just a few examples of mind, body, and spirit. One example of something we're doing at the Alternative High School to focus on the mind, we call it our Eagle Hour. We are the Eagles here. And so we built into the schedule a 30-minute time during the day where teachers have the opportunity to actually call back a student to their class if they look at the data and they look at some of the skills and they see, oh, student X, isn't proficient on this skill yet. Gosh, I wish I just had a few minutes to maybe teach it in another way, or maybe deliver the content differently. Maybe they're a visual learner and I ended up doing it in not a visual way. Maybe they just need something different. They have an opportunity to call that student back, or a small group that maybe all kind of missed the mark on something and work with them one-on-one. Or if a student was absent, it's a great way to kind of catch them up. So the goal is, instead of sort of waiting till the end of the trimester and students fail the class, the Eagle Hour allows them to remediate and intervene almost right away. So we're catching kids before it's too late. One example of body that's been really exciting, and the TAG grant is helping us sustain and grow this, is we started what we call our Eagle's Nest. And so that idea came about because I saw how our free and reduced members were growing. They were near 100% at one point. I think it's around 80% right now. And some of our families, frankly, are food insecure. So that's not something that we ever want our students or our families to have to worry about. And so we decided, hey, maybe there was a way that we could do something in our building for families to students who may need it for whatever reason. We even have families that are so gracious and generous that they end up taking in, maybe other family members or displaced students. So we started an Eagle's Nest right in our building to take away any barriers. I always think anytime you can have something in the school, you don't have to worry about transportation or all the things that can go wrong when you have to go travel somewhere and try to find it. So the Eagle's Nest has three things. One is, thanks to Teresa's recommendation, we are partnering with Hungry for Christ. And so every month we get to drive and fill up our trunk to the brim of all of this food. And so we have like a great shelving unit, and we have all this food from mac and cheese to soups to some canned fruits and vegetables to snacky stuff to bottled water. Every month we get to fill that up. And so that has been great. We've had a lot of families come in and utilize that. We have students who will take boxes home at the end of the day. We've extended it, again, thanks to the Allegan Community Foundation. We are extending it to include, it includes hygiene products. So we have some full and even some of those fun little miniatures. We always have a segment of our population that is homeless or transient. So you can imagine just being able to have little shampoos, little toothpaste. You can just toss it in your backpack and go is really great. So we have hygiene products. And we have clothing, and that I think has grown the most. I have just been in awe of how many community members and local churches are stopping in with just bags full of clothes. And so we have, girls and boys clothing that we're able to provide students. The Eagle's Nest was really up and running for the first time this year, I believe, if memory serves me correctly. And so while we don't have a ton of hard and fast data, like we don't ask families to sort of sign in or to sign up for what they've taken. We really want it to be as low stakes as possible.
Yeah.
I'm super happy for families to take anything they need, and like I said, thanks to Hungry for Christ, we get to restock every month. But it has been widely used. In fact, there's times where I'm really happy to know that it's almost the second Tuesday of the month because we are running low. And so I'll even try to advertise like on our school Facebook page, hey, the Eagle's Nest is restocked, so if you didn't see something you needed, come back in. Yeah. So that is our Eagle's Nest. So that's just one example of how we can take care of our students' bodies and be sure that that they're in a good place to learn, because maybe some of those other needs are being met. And then Spirit, there's so many things that I'm so proud of for our Spirit. I think one of the biggest game changers in our building that we have, thanks to our Mind, Body, Spirit initiative, is we have an adolescent trauma therapist that is now a part of our staff. She's here about 3 days a week. Her name is Brandy, and she comes to us thanks to Pathways, a program of Arbor Circle. So we partner with them, and through grant money that they have on their end, they are able to provide us, again, in our building. It's just to send, it just didn't feel good to have students coming in all the time with various issues and giving them like a little handout, or families, here's where you can go for this service.
Send them to talk to someone.
Being able to say, oh, well, here's Brandy, and she's right next door. Like, I feel like there's not even words for how good it feels to know that you're helping students become happier and healthier. So Brandy is really part of our staff at this point, and so she sees students on an individual basis on the days that she's here. I think she said she started in December. About 427 points of contact already with students. If there's a need and we're able to fill it, that just makes us feel good to know. And then they get a positive impression of our school too, because that's another huge piece that I didn't touch on, is I feel like it's one of our goals to slowly, and it takes time, change the perception. I think your first question, what exactly is the alternative high school, is I question on a lot of people's minds.
Yeah.
And I think there are people who think they know, or maybe some word of mouth, they think that they know exactly what happens in these walls. But it's always my goal to try to have as many people in the building as possible, or to have our students venture out into the community to make contact with the community so they see who our young people are and what our mission is, which is to give our students another choice and another chance to earn their high school diploma. So it's been nice over these couple of years when we've put some of this in place to start to see that maybe, just maybe, we're starting to turn that corner. This year, our students received, if I can brag about them for a moment,
Oh, please do.
the Spirit of Allegan Award from the Allegan Chamber of Commerce. Since our Mind, Body, Spirit initiative, so in about 2 years, we've gone from, I would say, a couple community partnerships to now, I just updated the list yesterday, we have over 30.
Have you seen a difference in either disciplinary or student behavior as a result of the Mind, Body, Spirit program?
Since we started this focus, we have seen a decrease in office referrals, suspensions, and an increase in attendance and some of those positive things that we're trying to do. So that's always a bonus, that kids are here, they're engaged, they want to be here, and when they're feeling all that, hopefully they'll engage more in the classroom and move forward with their education.
So is there anything you wish people knew that we haven't already covered about your program and your school?
Yeah, I think in all, I just would love people to really know who our students are, and I welcome any of our community members to find a way to come in, to see what we do here, or to perhaps partner with us outside of school. I think to know our students is to love our students, and usually it's just a matter of actually knowing them and knowing a little bit of their journey. I mean, every student who comes here has their own story, and they're all here for one reason, and that's to get back on track to earn their high school diploma. So we are just so appreciative for all the community members that have already taken the time to get to know our students, and we are excited to build those community partnerships in the years to come.
We would like to extend a huge thank you to the Allegan Alternative High School
And to Principal Laura Pfeffer for all the time and hard work she puts into the success of her students.